This is the Tank 500 from Great Wall Motors. You can see from the size, it is a huge machine, and of course the Tauges in China like vehicles like this. And so similarly for the Tauges in Malaysia, this is brought in specially for you. People normally associate a vehicle of this size with a big engine that has heavy fuel consumption and a lot of road tax to pay. But no, this one comes with a 2-liter turbocharged engine, plus it comes with a hybrid system and a 9-speed gearbox with drive to all 4 wheels. To match the size of the vehicle, the Tank 500 comes with 20-inch wheels, and front suspension is made up of double wishbones, and you can see here they use a lot of aluminum to keep the unsprung weight down. Front discs are ventilated discs, and at the back you have another set of smaller but also ventilated discs on a live axle with multiple links. So at the back here you get the 500 badge and also HEV to show that it is hybrid, and you get a nice spare tire cover, and interestingly the reverse camera is here. So this looks like a very macho 4-wheel drive machine that really means business. The Tank 500 is totally off-road capable. Wading depth is 500 mm, and there's also a wading depth indicator. When you get into water, it will show you how deep it is, and it will even warn you if it's too much. Then in terms of the transmission, it is drive to all 4 wheels. There's a 9-speed gearbox plus pedal shifters, and you can also shift to manual. Plus there are driving modes that show you can have auto, normal, sport mode and eco mode. So there are quite a few modes for you to select what you want to drive. And with the diff locks, there is also hill descent control and also the tank turn. This vehicle can do the tank turn, and so the touch of luxury, of course, is your seats are ventilated. Seats are Napa leather, and both driver and co-driver have electrical controls. Up there is a panoramic sunroof with a sunshade, and the interior of the vehicle is really luxurious. There's some kind of a wood finish here and leather with stitching, plus a big screen for infotainment, and you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Then for the driving display, you have also another large screen here, so you are not in want of large screens. And down here you have another set of buttons for you to decide whether you want outside air or fan speed, emergency flasher, mode switch for your aircon, and also you can have auto and you can turn it off if you want. Plus they also have a little bit of class by putting in a little analog clock. And down here you have a very nice looking gear lever. P is here, then you have your R, N and D plus manual. Just push it down, and this is the driving mode. Other than that, you have the handbrake, and this is a seat cooler for the driver, whilst the passenger has his own seat cooler over there. The rear seats are quite comfortable. There's plenty of leg room, plus there is the Tauge switch here for you to move the passenger seat to the front if you want more leg room. And of course the seats here are split 60-40, and moving them back reveals there's another 2 more seats at the back. So this is a 2-3-2, which makes it a 7-seater. At a selling price of $350,000, the Tank 500 comes with a full complement of ADAS features. And for warranty, the Tank 500 is really good. There is a lifetime warranty on the engine, 5 years of free service, 8 years or 200,000 kilometer warranty on the hybrid battery, and 6 years of unlimited mileage warranty on the car body. All things said and done, the Tank 500 is really a machine that Tauges should consider. It is big, it is luxurious, has all the features, it is very safe, and it makes a statement. We are in a huge vehicle, and if you ever wanted a large SUV, this is something you can consider. This is none other than the Tank 500. With a length of 5078 mm, a wheelbase of 2850 mm, and a width of 1934 mm, this is a large vehicle. So I would say this borders along the Land Cruiser class, and in fact, if you take a look at the outlook of the car, you can see that it is targeted against the Land Cruiser or the Prado. So what we have is a 2-liter power plant supplemented by a hybrid electric system, and the total output is 346 horsepower and 648 Newton meters of torque. Yeah, so the engine itself is I think 244 PS, and then there is also 106 horsepower electric drive from the hybrid system. Okay, so it ticks all the boxes, or in terms of safety, everything is there. Okay, and there are even pedal shifters. All right, so I think pedal shifters you invoke anytime you want. Nice talk. Oh, oh, it's so refined. A silent type of sportiness. Yeah, this one is what you would buy and you would use as your company transport, or take your family out for functions or go travel. And if you want to go off-road, this vehicle is perfectly capable. Yeah, it has a wading depth of 800 mm, and you can also have rear lock diff, front lock diff. This is the 4-wheel drive machine that you always wanted, and it's even got pedal shifters. Well, notwithstanding that it's got 648 Newton meters of torque, the car is not that fast. It's because it is quite heavy to start with. Okay, there's a car in the corner. We want to make sure that he is not in my way, because I got a big vehicle. Of course, this vehicle has got all the bells and whistles. Yeah, all ADAS safety features are there. Plus, you have your Android and Apple CarPlay friendly. So there's nothing lacking in this vehicle. Seats are Napa leather, and we have this motorbike who's not sure that we are there, so we just want to make sure that we don't get in his way. Okay, this is the mini roundabout, and yes, it's got full-time 4-wheel drive. Okay, despite its size, you can still chuck it around. Okay, a bit of roadworks in front of us, so we just slow down. Yeah, whenever you see cones, flashing lights, best thing to do is to slow down until you are sure what you're getting into. Yeah. Plus, there are a lot of slow cars moving here. Okay, we have this little SUV in front. It doesn't look like he's going to give way. But still, he is entitled to the road, yeah. So let's just follow him. And now he moves over. Thank you very much. It's not a nice feeling to have a big SUV on your tail, right? Yeah, this vehicle is really stable, and it's very comfortable. Down to the Napa leather seats, soft cushions. Very nice. So the vehicle is actually quite silent, and I tend to speak softer whilst in the car because it is so quiet. Okay, so as usual, we will slow down for this part in between the part 1 and part 2, and the traffic is getting a bit heavier. It's still in the morning though, before 9 o'clock. Okay, this is a 9-speed gearbox here. And each speed graduation is very small. Okay, let's try to navigate ourselves through this traffic. But anyways, for a vehicle like this, you don't want to be driving it very fast up the mountain, yeah? It's a luxurious vehicle. And we see in front of us, this is the 80 series Land Cruiser. Very, very old vehicle, but these vehicles go for a very long time and still surviving. This vehicle at least 30 years old, I think. So a vehicle like this will also survive for a very long time because they're built like tanks. Yeah, that's why it's called a Tank 500. Yes, it's built like a tank. And we're getting a bit of a rain coming up. Yes, we can go around him. Nice. We have the van slowing down slower than the truck. It bogs down a little bit. I think traction control is on. We didn't turn off traction control. And again, we have the mist at the top of the hill. So effectively, that's the end of our run. There's just another 2 corners more. So we'll just end the run here. And here we are. All right, so we survived this drive too. Okay, so let's just do a quick wrap up. Okay, so was the vehicle powerful? Yes, it was, but it doesn't have as much power as I thought it would have. Maybe it's the weight, maybe it is the power transmission, but as a large SUV, it is fantastic. The car is very stable, and you can't really make very much mistakes with it lah. You know, it's quite what you call safe, and it just doesn't allow you to do all the silly things you want to do to a car. Like you can't throw it into a corner because the traction control will take over, and then you set everything right. I think the hybrid system is made more to save fuel, and that would be pretty good. Because of such a big and heavy vehicle, the hybrid system does help it a lot. Yeah. So in terms of size, it is big. Yeah, this is a large size D or E segment SUV, and you can sit 7 people in great comfort and still carry some luggage at the back. So how much is a car like this, guys? Well, it's 350,000. Yeah, the Chinese cars or China-made cars are no longer cheap, guys. So this is a 2-liter turbocharged 9-speed vehicle with a hybrid system and fully off-road capable, full ADAS, and very, very luxuriously appointed. So generally, can you take this up Genting? Yes, you can on a weekend with your family. But no, it's not a Genting car. Yeah, it's a car that you can bring to Genting for holiday, go and eat something, things like that. Yeah, or stay here. But it's not one that you can go and really have fun with on a weekend with your friends. So for that, you need to have a sports car. Alright, so if you can afford 350,000 for a car like this, I'm sure you will have a little bit of budget left over for a little sports car that you can play on your own. Alright, so anyway, thanks very much for being with us, and don't forget to like, subscribe. If you want to, you can still buy us a coffee. Go down to the bottom of the page, and you see next to the share, just go to the icons there. There's a thank you button. You can buy me a coffee. Alright, thanks very much again, and till we meet again in the next video. Bye bye.